Grimlock strategy.
Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review. Today we're taking a look at another 2015 Robots in Disguise figure and its gold armor Grimlock. Now, I picked this figure up at my local Walmart here in Greenwood, Indiana. It was really just kind of a surprise to see it. There were two sitting on the shelf. Both of them had kind of jinked up looking boxes, so I got the one that looked a little better for review sake. I'm going to pull it out of the package anyway, but yeah, I was not expecting this figure. If you don't know what this figure is, it's basically the original Warrior Class Grimlock from this line, repainted in a G1 style. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. And here we have the gold armor Grimlock in package. Now, like I said, this is nothing more than a repaint of the original Warrior Class Grimlock. It's even on the original cardstock that we get in the first wave of this line. Now, one of the notable differences, along with the paint job, is he has a different head sculpt, which we will take a look at in close detail later on. You know, it's kind of interesting that while we have a totally different repainted figure, unlike the Toys R Us exclusive repaint figures that got new artwork on the boxes, unfortunately, poor little gold armor Grimlock got the same art treatment on the package. While we get the same old recycled green and black and gold Grimlock on the artwork, we do have a picture of Grimlock in his G1 colors. Here's a look at the bottom of the figure of which other toys are in this wave. And here we have the back of the box, just like all the other figures. We've got Grimlock's transformation steps. He does transform in 10 different steps. Here he is in his robot in Dino mode, and then, of course, that's how you play the game. In case you need to know how to transform Grimlock, here are the steps. And to take kind of a close look here of the artwork on the back, once again, notice that the gold that we actually get on the artwork in the package is not the same that we get on the figure. This is a very shiny metallic gold paint, which I think looks really, really super cool, and I'm not sure why we didn't get that on the figure. We get more of a bronze color like we see in the Age of Extinction figure, but you know, it works, but I think it would have looked a lot cooler with the gold metallic paint. Maybe it was just cheaper to do it the other way. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Grimlock out of the box and see what we think. Alright, so here we have Grimlock out of the box, and you know what? I do like this deco. Of course, I am a G1 fan, so it's no surprise really I'm going to like this, but very cool. I really like the new head sculpt. I think that works very, very well for this style of figure. It's got an animated look, but I mean, it's an animated style figure, and you know, I appreciate it, but it still has the nod back to the original G1. Again, I wish instead of this kind of brass-colored plastic and paint, we got the shiny gold gold paint. I think that would have been really, really cool. But overall, you know, I can't say anything too terribly bad. It has the exact same features that the other figure has. It has the same articulation. The head is on a swivel. He's got joints here at his arm. They do move out ever so slightly. He does have little tiny ratchet joints in his elbows. His hands move in, but that's mainly for transformation. He's got a ball joint on his hip. He has a knee joint, and that's really about all Grimlock does. So here we have a close-up of Grimlock, and I really do like this head sculpt. I like the design. I think it's very animated. I love the red mask, the faceplate. I think this would translate well into the show. I like the goldish color on the chest, but I wish it was the shiny gold paint that we saw in the artwork on the back of the box. Now, the gray, they really nail. I like the shoulders, that looks like the dinosaur head there. I think that really looks like Grimlock. I wish there was a little paint app here in the shoulder, That would have been kind of nice rather than just leaving it bare gray, but overall, I think they do pull the G1 aesthetic nicely. Looking at the midsection of the robot, again, it's done pretty well. I wish that they had the same kind of paint apps here on the toes, on the front of the hands that they do on the back. I think that would have looked a little bit better. I like the red chest and the red crotch piece, but I wish there was a little bit more black in there to kind of break it up. It just looks a little bit bland. The black on the upper legs looks really, really cool, and we don't really have much going on with this little dino butt. And finally, taking a look at the feet, again, I like the goldish brass, whatever color you want to call that, paint on the legs. The feet don't really have much going on, but that's okay. The color breakage from that gray with the side paint apps, I think, really work out well. I think if you put too much gold on there, it'd be a little much. So I think this is a nice balance of that kind of copper gold color and the light gray. So here's a close-up of the two different head sculpts on the figure. As you can tell, they basically took the same helmet that the figure had and retooled the face portion of it. They gave Grimlock in the gold armor the mouth mask that he had in the original show, as well as the red visor, versus the blue eyes and the orange face and mouth that he had in the Robots in Disguise cartoon and the first wave. Now, another point of interest is that the little symbols here for the game, so that little ring that's around the Autobot symbol, the gold armor Grimlock, after looking at it, has a different pattern than the original wave, which I think's interesting. I don't know if that means that if you scan this Grimlock in the game that he'll have the gold armor. I don't play the game, so I really don't know. For comparison, here we have the figure from the first wave versus this gold armor version. And again, as you can tell, the mold is exactly the same, save for the head sculpt. Now, I really liked the color palette of this Grimlock. I thought it was a nice choice. I think it fits the character pretty well. The actor, I think, is the same one that did the voice of Bulkhead from Transformers Prime, which works really well for me. He's a big, goofy kind of character, and it works. I mean, he's a totally different personality for Grimlock, but I definitely like him. And it's kind of interesting to see the differences in the paint schemes and how dramatically different they change him. He does not use this color pattern at all in the TV show, but it's nice to get in a figure format. Looking at the differences in the figure, you really kind of think maybe that he would have a different personality in this new color scheme. I kind of think he would, especially with this new head sculpt. Even the back of the figure looks very, very different with the new paint apps. Again, I'm a G1 fan, so I'm really, really impressed by the changes the new colors take. Here we have Grimlock in his dinosaur mode, and it's the same exact transformation that we get in the original figure. But I will say, I think I like the original Wave's dinosaur mode a little bit better. The G1 Deco, while it does look cool in the robot mode, I don't think translates near as well into the dinosaur mode. I mean, it does okay, but in the G1, obviously, we would have some gold down here, a little bit gold on his neck. We got a ton of this brass goldish color up here, a lot going down the sides. The legs look decent, except for the fact that we don't have the toes, which is a bit of a shame. And again, I wish we had some paint apps here. His head sculpt, takes it pretty well. It looks like he's got a nice crown on the top, which is pretty cool. I do appreciate that. The other neat thing is that the little play gimmick still works where you can open his mouth. So that's kind of cool. But overall, I mean, it's okay. I think I just prefer the deco on the original Wave for this mold than I do this one. Looking at the two figures side by side, there is a huge difference from this paint. And again, I think as far as the paint apps go, the new version wins out over the G1, which is very unfortunate. But, I mean, this is his mold anyway, so I like the black and the green. I think that pops really, really well on this figure. And he just seems to have a little more detail, like in the thighs. I like the gold paint there where that's just kind of bland. Granted, I mean, it's really kind of going for the G1 look, but I think I would have preferred maybe some of that glossy red that's on his waist. painted in there, I think that would have looked really cool. They are obviously taking liberties. Why not just do that with the leg as well? I think the black and the green down the tail look a lot better than the gray and the goldish color going down the tail on the G1 version. I think that looks a lot cooler. It's more dynamic with the black and the green and than it is over on the G1 side. Also, I think the G1 version looks a little better with the painted toes than the non-painted toes of the new version. Kind of looking at the front of the dinosaurs, I think that the original version or the newer version of Grimlock in the green and the black wins out because we got that gappage issue on the underbelly where the red paint on the G1 really shows that, and you don't see it because of all the black on the original Wave toy. Staring at the dino butts, once again, I think the original Wave figure, the newer version of Grimlock, looks a lot cooler with that green and the black. It's just way more dynamic than that kind of goldish brass color and the light gray. It just pops a lot more for me on the figure. Also, up around the shoulders on the G1 version, we have that same problem of that gappage issue really showing off in this mode, whereas the original Wave figure in the new version of Grimlock, it's all black, so it kind of gets hidden and you don't notice it near as much. And finally, we have the two figures going head to head. Oh, get it? Oh, these are the jokes, folks. They're not getting any funnier. So, looking at them, they kind of look like the 1999 Godzilla with Matthew Broderick, don't they? I really don't know which paint app I prefer. I'm probably going to go with the 2015 Wave 1 figure, the green and the silver. I think that color combination looks a little bit better. The all gray on the G1 is just a little bit bland. And, you know, looking at the two, the Wave 1 figure, the 2015 style Grimlock, really looks a lot friendlier than the G1 variant here. Now, the red eyes on the G1 variant does, you know, go with the old G1 toy, and I love that nod, but he looks a little bit evil. With the new Grimlock, he's got the blue eye, and it just makes him look a little bit friendlier. Like I said, the silver and the green really pop to me. Now, the gold crowns, while it's kind of a secondary color on the new Grimlock, the 2015 Grimlock, you know, and it looks okay, I actually prefer that on the G1 Grimlock. It really does look like a crown compared to a paint app highlight color on the green one, which is very cool. And of course, we all know that G1 Grimlock is king. So is the Gold Armor Grimlock a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? Well, if you are a Transformers Robots in Disguise completist, you're probably going to want to pick this up if you like all the variations of the paint jobs on the characters. If you are a G1 enthusiast, you're really going to appreciate this figure for that look. You know, and if you like the kind of different Transformers, you're going to like it. At $15, this entire line is a little bit pricey for me, but I mean, that's pretty much what the prices on this figure set nowadays is anyway. I like the figure, but then again, I am a G1 enthusiast, so this was really cool for me to see, and I liked the G1 style head as well. If you missed the original Warrior Class Grimlock and you're trying to get this back into your collection, or get it into your collection for the first time, if you see this guy, this is not a bad pickup, and it's going to look different than the other figures. Now, I wish they would also do this with the 3-step Grimlock, because I like that one a little bit more than I like the Warrior, because it fits more in scale. So there he is, the Gold Armor Grimlock from 2015's Robots in Disguise.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and as always, look for more videos in the future.